During the same month that the Carabao fell into a 10-foot deep hole in Kabangkalan, we captured the reactions of some young Filipinos, Judy Vina, Emil, and Anthony. In this episode, they give their thoughts on a highly successful alternative rock act that came from one of the most musically vibrant countries in Europe. Let's hear what they have to say.
Wait, this is so familiar. Wait, this band's so familiar, I forgot na. This is not Oasis.
Is that Cranberries? Very dreamy sound. Parang may Bloody Valentine type of sound. Pero less ano siya. Less shoegazer sound. Na ganun. Like distorted reverb sound.
It's much more jangly than I expect. Well, comparison to what we discussed earlier, Oasis, and it's more of a. I guess it's similar to the Smiths in a way.
They sound like the one who sang. What do you call this? Kiss me under the milky twilight.
Same style. Yeah. Same style from the song before. Or same sound. Ooh. I'm sorry, it felt the same. it kind of felt the same. It doesn't feel as emotional to me, for maybe compared to other people, but this doesn't feel as emotional as I would prefer it to be.
I guess it's, do you have to like drag it out? Do you have to like, it's a stockish kind of thing? Like you have to let it drag out for so long and just stay in the sidelines and not do anything about it. Something like that.
Okay. This is the same band. This is the same band. Okay.
I can hear first for this video.
Okay, that line's very familiar. Okay, this is very familiar now. Oh, it's the Cranberries? Oh, I didn't know this is the Cranberries. I thought this is the Cranberries. I thought this is the Cranberries enough. I feel like people are gonna no, people are gonna judge me for not knowing the Cranberries. Oh my god. This song, I guess it just passes by on some people's Nokia phones from before. I remember it's like you have downloaded on your Nokia phone and just people would play it or people would sing it kahit sa karaoke siguro.
Nakikita ko siya sa video, okay? Like, first pop ng parang isang numbers. Nalabas kagad yung, basta set of numbers, bigla na zombie. Then, basta parati siyang kinakanta ng mga tao. And medyo nairita ako kasi, come on, meron pang ibang songs, but puro yan.
I guess she's talking about how we're all just slave to the system, acting like zombies. But yeah, like her voice is just amazing.
I can understand the sound a bit. It's similar to the first songs I've heard. Very pop like. Yeah. I don't know the song.
I guess it's a type of coping mechanism. I guess she doesn't hold the key to that cage, and she doesn't have any choice but to be in that cage. And the only thing that she can hold and be in control of is her narrative about being free.
Di sinabi niya like, I was a freedom, she's in a cage, then I was a suicide, she's dancing. Nagko-contradict. Parang meron siyang, I think di niya point out. For me, parang di niya ma-point out or di niya mapakita na maayos about what she feels. Then,
suddenly something has happened to me.
It's different.
My cup of tea. Suddenly I was
Okay, I'm gonna listen to the lyrics. So I wanna try to understand these lyrics.
made me die. And the thing that gets to me is you'll never really see. And the thing that freaks me out is I'd always be in doubt. It's just a lovely thing that we have. It's just a lovely thing that we. It's just a lovely thing. The animal instinct.
Animal instinct. The story is pretty interesting.
Yung una ko rinig, para siyang The Cure na song. Pwede siya maging kanta ng The Cure. Malapit kasi siya sa tunog nila. Like, medyo forward yung bass. Dun, 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 dun.
I guess it did evolve. It sounds a bit different. The second song, I think the second song had the guitars in it, the acoustic guitars, and it definitely sounds crunchier in this one. Same style.
The stars are bright tonight. I am walking nowhere. I guess I will be alright. Desire gets you nowhere. And you are
I don't know if I'm a fan. I might not be a fan.
so perfect. Take you as you are. Have you as you are. Take you as you are. I have you just the way you are. I have you just.
It's a bop. I like her moves.
I'll take you just the way you are. Choose anyone to love the way they are.
Okay. Very good. I hope the lyrics don't have anything bad in them, like killing someone, but with how it went so far, I'd be touched to be sung this.
In terms of music video, this one has a vibe, a Twilight vibe, I guess. It's a much calmer one. Although it's upbeat, but it's a much calmer one rather than Zombie, which it has like a strong aura. I don't know if that's the right term for it. Isn't she the one who ripped off the Pope's is she the one? Oh, I thought that was her. 'Cause she's like, I was like, maybe that's her because like that's the cross and the children. Like, and then she shouted, "No, your real enemy!" And then she turned. I guess not her. Okay.
Can you guess which band that was, and does it sound familiar?
Cranberries.
It's the Cranberries.
The Cranberries. They sound familiar. Now I'm familiar with them.
I heard the Cranberries before, like song Linger and then Zombie. Like, yun pa lang yung mga narinig ko.
I guess dito sa Philippines, parang Philippines radio, kinakanta ng mga parents namin, titos, titas, brothers, sisters, older people, younger people, and it just comes along because of its influence.
Did you notice anything different about this band?
I love the Smiths. They're like the Smiths in terms of how poetically ironic and sad they sound. Of course, it doesn't sound like the Smiths, but it's like an evolved sound which influenced a whole era, I guess. And music from this time just sounds really similar to every other music that I expect from this era or from these kind of bands. So my idea so far is like the sound is very cliche or generic for the time.
May very versatile yung vocals niya. Medyo ang sa akin medyo nadadala ng instrumental yung vibe ng kanta. Sinabi ko kanina si Zombie is very distorted, it's very heavy. But yung voice ni Dolores, medyo iba yung levels nila. Hindi sila pantay ng levels ng vibe ng instrumental and then yung vocals.
So the Cranberries was an alternative rock band founded in Limerick, Ireland and fronted by Dolores O'Riordan, who dropped out of high school to join the group, which would become one of the most successful bands to come out of Ireland. What qualities do you think one has to have to be able to drop out of school and pursue a successful career?
Aside from having the passion, you also have to be innovative and know your audience, know the people around you, and to make sure that the product or the thing that you're creating really gives an impact. You should always have like different takes on everything that you give, so that people would always be impressed and to always give it your all.
I like YouTubers, and I watch videos, and I like people for their character. Not just, I don't watch a person playing a game for 50 episodes just to finish it because I want to see the end of the game or the gameplay. I watch it because this person is bringing entertainment to that game. And that's the same with music. You can make pop music, you can make any music, but once you put your character into that music, where you feel it's special and people feel it's special, that's when a really great connection, especially with like fame, especially when you want fame, that's the connection that's what you're looking for.
Now, although Dolores O'Riordan was a gifted singer and pianist since childhood, the other members of the band weren't actually musically inclined until their late teens. But just a few years after they started learning how to play, their first studio album hit the top of the UK and Irish music charts. In your opinion, what does this say about how technically skilled one actually needs to be to produce influential work?
I think, syempre, you need to learn pa rin yung instruments na yun. You need to learn about music. And then, syempre, malaking part rin yung creativity about making music kasi. Without creativity, and then pure technical ka lang, it's very dull. But when you're pure creative, but without technicality, how can I put this? Makaproduce ka pa rin ng magandang kanta. Kasi it's from your heart, it's from your soul.
Because technical proficiency is just things to get your creativity going. Creativity is the starter of everything. Technical proficiency is just the delivery. Because you could be, it's like things for conductors. You could be a great conductor and not know even how to play a single instrument because these people play it for you, and that goes well with how creativity goes a long way.
Despite the fact that the Cranberries went on to become one of the most successful alternative rock acts of the 1990s, their career actually almost didn't take off due to the poor production of their first record titled Uncertain. Because of this, they fired their original producer Piers Gilmore and hired Jeff Travis, who had previously worked with the Smiths. Eventually, he helped to produce their debut album, which ended up selling 6 million copies worldwide. Do you think it's always important to work with someone more experienced when starting out in a certain field?
Yes, I think it is. These experts, they already have an experience. They know how the game works. In an industry, an expert knows how the game works in that specific market, in that specific industry.
It's about refinement of the skill. Even gifted people need like direction or need the technical skill to apply their genius. And that's just how it goes with this. Sure, hire someone that's really talented, but technically inept, if inept is the right word, or hire someone that that may not be as talented but is super into the craft and has worked his butt off to create something, I would definitely most pick the person that's familiar with the craft rather than someone who's talented, because talent needs nurturing, and nurturing is super important to create more talent.
Among the songs by the Cranberries which became a hit worldwide was Zombie. This was actually written by Dolores O'Riordan herself in relation to the long-running political conflict in Northern Ireland, which ultimately cost nearly 4,000 lives. In fact, the song came about after Irish secessionists set off a bomb in Warrington, England that claimed the lives of 2 young boys. What was it about this song that it had such massive appeal among listeners across the globe, including those unaware of its background?
Yeah, like me, I didn't know the background up until I heard it from now, up until you said it. I guess as a listener and as a person who constantly hear that song from karaoke's, it's how they delivered it. That's why it's a massive hit. It's how Dolores, I guess, sang the song. Not just outrage, but like it's like a cry, a cry from something inside that's eating her.
When she cracks her voice, like the yodeling aspect that you can kind of hear. Rather than think of it as yodeling, it just became a part of her singing to me, and I think it just brought a quality of power to how she sang it, because she's really upfront and loud about her singing. not that it's a bad thing, but it's like it's upfront, and she screams, not screaming in a bad way, but she screams to the microphone and sings heart with soul, and you can kind of really tell that this is what she wants to send with the song.
Amidst the success of the Cranberries, Dolores O'Riordan struggled with physical and mental issues over the course of her life. In 2018, she passed away in a London hotel room at the age of 46. Thereafter, her band released their final album titled In the End, consisting of songs Dolores recorded before her passing. Upon its release, In the End was praised by critics and earned the band their sole Grammy nomination. What is it about Grief that it could compel us to give a captivating performance or produce some of our best work?
It's this whole dilemma of how like an artist's feelings just pour out into their works, like whatever strong emotion, may that be sadness, happiness, conviction, grief in this case, because it's just a part of what makes good music, because something so intimate with the artist just becomes so intimate with the people also.
Iba't iba tao, meron silang parang hidden emotion na ayaw nila pakita or hindi nila alam mismo. Kahit sarili nila, hindi nila alam yun. When you hear something or see something, like painting about sadness or melancholy, and then you hear something about depression and anxiety, dun ma-unlock yung feeling na yun na hindi mo alam, na masakit. Sabay hindi mo siya alam.
Sometimes when you're grieving, you don't know where to put it. You don't know where to channel. You don't know if you would drink yourself until you forget, or you just move on with life, because it's not as simple as that. There is the sadness, the thing that you're feeling, it never goes away, and one way to channeling or getting that out, the grief out, is for artists like the Cranberries. They were able to channel that certain feeling, that grief, into work.
In the end, what can Filipino artists learn from the music of the Cranberries?
One thing for sure is that the Cranberries just did what they wanted to do.
So as we heard working, I know it's a big risk na ginawa ng Dolores na drop out of high school and join a band. And then they made it a very risky move. But always work hard for your dreams.
If you want to connect with your audience, don't be afraid to speak your mind out through your music. Don't hold yourself back. don't be afraid. Play. Just be yourself. Just one of their songs, Stars. Just be yourself.
Hello. Thank you for watching the video because I really enjoyed that one. And I just like to promote my band, and we have our new single right now, Hinga. So maybe you can check that in the description. Dun ata. And then we have our social medias, ang Banda Mo Sol. You can check us Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, on yung famous na yan. And I really enjoyed this. Maybe I could join the next future episodes if my bandmates did. Bye-bye.